betting experts, Jake Arians and JC Cornell. Before we get started with our Thursday night betting slip, make sure you like this video, subscribe to us on YouTube, and check out www.the813.tv for daily exclusive Bucs content. I mean, last week we had some technical difficulties, so we didn't air the show, but we did have a fantastic Thursday night matchup to talk about. And if we have to move on here, this is a pretty good one to discuss as well. We have AFC East foes dueling it out on Thursday night, the Dolphins and the Bills. The Dolphins have a lot to prove this year, but so do the Bills. So let's get started talking about this matchup. We have the Dolphins favored by 2.5 points. And let's kick it off with you, Jake. How are you feeling about this Thursday night football matchup?
I hate week 2. Week 2 is the hardest week to pick for me. I don't know, overreactions, underreactions, all that stuff. It's you get the Bills. The Bills have beat the Dolphins 9 out of the last 10 times. Josh Allen's still the best player on the field. I love the Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle explosiveness. The Dolphins are banged up. Raheem Mostert's out. Achan's banged up, questionable, hasn't practiced all week. Short, but the road team on Thursday night's also like, yeah. I'm going with the big brother and the parents of the redheaded stepchild until they decide that they can step up and whoop them. I'm going to go with the Bills. I just think they're better. I think they have their number. Josh Allen's numbers in like the last 4 games are insane. And yes, Miami looks like they want to take that step and win that division and be better. I think the losing Stephon Diggs helps the Bills. I think it puts more on Josh Allen, but it's not the me guy. It's let's spread it around. Whoever's open, I'm taking it. The offense, I think, can be better that way. Now, defensively, I don't know if you're sitting in a cover 2 shell all night trying to keep those speedy guys in front of you. I don't know. That's the one thing that scares me. And you still have all the stuff that happened with Tua before the game last week. Does that galvanize the team? Is that a distraction from the team? It can go either way on that one. But I think it's a lot of extra crap they had to worry about already on a short week. And I'm just going to take the big brother until the little brother decides he's going to punch him in the mouth and win. What do you think, JC?
Yeah, I agree. I think this could be a little bit of a sloppy game. Josh Allen is the best player on the field. I am going to take the Dolphins minus 2.5. Tyreek Hill is just a game changer. But I think it's, like I said, going to be a little bit of a sluggish game. Short week. This is a hard pick. But I ended up going
Miami. The preseason's killing me too, bro. Like it's bad enough that you come into week 1, you get sloppy football. I think that's going to go all the way to week 2 or 3. Ben and I were talking about it on the huddle. I don't know what you learn from preseason anymore, other than I know Josh Allen's really freaking good and will do whatever it takes to win. And they get their little mini bye, it kind of seems like, if that's the case. I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know what we learned. Week 2 is so tough.
All right, so are we going to go to some props?
We can.
Well, I'm going to throw this out there. This is my dog of the week. I'm taking the Bills, MoneyLine Dawg of the week, on the road, in the dog.
So this is your dog.
This is my dog of the week. I had 2, but we picked the same one, which we'll get to later. So I just agree with you when that one comes up. But this one's going to be my dog of the week.
Wow. So Jake is locking in his dog early. That is his underdog matchup of the week. He's taking the Bills over the Dolphins.
I'm going with the biggest dog on the field, Josh Allen.
All right. You heard it here first. Well,
I like that.
Dolphins went 0-2 against the Bills in 2023. I think they want revenge. That Week 18 outing was Tua's ugliest matchup of the season.
If you're going to throw out 0-2 last year, throw out 1-10, 1-9 in the last 10 games.
I'm agreeing with JC here. I think that it's Miami's time. I mean, both teams, a lot of turnover in the past year. I do think, Josh Allen's going to be Josh Allen. He's going to be able to adjust. But let's get into some player props like we were talking about. We have Josh Allen, anytime touchdown, minus 135. James Cook, anytime touchdown, plus 155. Keon Coleman, anytime touchdown, plus 230. Allen passing yards over under 245.5. How are we feeling about some of those that I
do. I'm just seeing this for the first time, but I like that Keon Coleman anytime touchdown plus 230. I think that's a pretty decent bet.
I like the odds on it. I mean, it's a rookie. Yeah, I don't know how much he's going to count on him in a game like this, but yeah.
I mean, he is a red zone target for Allen. Obviously, a lot of new players on that offense. You would want to see Josh Allen find some chemistry with Coleman here early in the season.
Yeah, and the chemistry he had with Dalton Kincaid last year. I mean, I like these big-bodied guys in the red zone, but I mean, the thing with Coleman that they liked was a possession guy, boxing out the rebound. That just spells red zone, especially at plus 230. I like that a lot. Josh Allen's over-under number on the passing. He's going to do whatever the hell it takes to win. I think they're going to try to run it. I don't know that I'd mess with that number in the 240s. I'd rather look at one maybe where he's running. And I love him scoring a touchdown anytime for sure.
I like that.
He's going to do whatever it takes to win.
Love the Josh Allen anytime touchdown. What I was going to say about Kincaid was last year, early in the season, it took them a little bit to get that chemistry going. And once they did, it blew up, right? So let's see if it's similar with Coleman. Maybe that's the reason why it's plus 230, but we'll see what happens.
I don't know.
Yeah, I tell you the one I do like is I think Curtis Samuel bounces back for them this week. So whether you see it on different lines, I've got it at plus 105 for 20 yards receiving. I've seen it at 18.5. I think he bounces back this week. I think they're going to use him in the backfield. They're going to try to get him in space against this defense. Tua without a running game, I love over plus 275. I mean, he threw for 400 last week. I mean, he led the league in passing last year. I don't think they're going to try to run it a ton. I think Jeff Wilson Jr. I love if Achane doesn't play, but I don't know that they don't just still. I don't know that they threw it a bunch. Like those two big plays last week were at 21 personnel, two backs. Like if you're going to have two safeties back there, you got to run it.
Are we making our same game parlays here?
We'll do that at the end. We'll talk a few more player props before we get into that.
Those are the ones that I liked.
We're liking that Josh Allen anytime touchdown. How are we feeling about over under 1.5 passing touchdowns for Josh Allen tonight? JC.
I would take the under. I think he's going to rush one in. I think he probably throws for one, rushes one. I would take the under on that.
Yeah, I don't think I'd touch it. I like the under better than I like the over.
I wouldn't. Yeah, let's clarify. I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't touch that bet.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a lower scoring game, so I'm not playing with that one.
We touched on Tua real quick, but we're going to get into that a little bit more. Tua, he's going to have to depend on his arm tonight to win. We know the Dolphins' running room is really kind of taking a beating after that Week 1 Jacksonville matchup. Mostert has been ruled out. Not so sure about Achane. That's more of a game-time decision. It's looking promising, but not so sure. So they're really going to need to rely on Tua Tagovailoa's arm tonight. So let's see. Passing yards over 267.5. You guys both said that's a lock for you, huh?
I'd take the over in that for sure. I mean, I think they're going to try to run it. Jeff Wilson Jr. has played a ton in this offense for them. I think he can come in and play. And I think Achane plays, but I don't know. I mean, he's got an ankle. So I don't mean speedy guys, track guys, man, you got anything wrong. They just don't seem to be the same guys. I think he'll be there. He'll be effective, but I think they're going to limit him. I like Jeff Wilson Jr. I think he can play. But I think it always comes down in this offense to Tua's arms and those big plays. I mean, last week, if ETN doesn't drop the ball on the one, they go up 24-7 in the second half, and they win that game. The Dolphins are two monster plays, they're not fluky because they hit them a lot, but an 80-yard Tyreek Hill touchdown and then a Waddle 60-yard completion to get them down there, they score again. I mean, without that, if Buffalo stays cover two safeties back, you got to try to run it. But they didn't have a lot of success last week. I don't know. I think it all comes down to Tua. So, I think that's pretty low for him. I think he's going to be averaging closer to 300 for the year.
Talk about that game-changing moment of the game was that, punching the ball out right as ETN's going into the end zone, and then that 80-yard Tyreek Hill touchdown right afterwards, about 50 seconds of just completely changing the narrative of the game. So we're in the Tyreek Hill anytime touchdown minus 130. And then we also have Tyreek Hill receiving yards over under 94.5. JC, how are you feeling about those two?
So let's see, Tyreek receiving yards over under 94.5. I would go over on that. I will say I did not have Tua passing over. I had under 270. So that I think it's going to be a sloppy game, and I think Buffalo's going to kind of dominate the time of possession. I don't think you're going to see as big of stats out of Miami as usual. But I wanted to ask, what is the injury report right now for the running backs on the Dolphins?
So Mostert's out, and Achane hasn't practiced all week. Is questionable.
So I don't know if there's odds on this right now, but don't you think Jalen Wright's going to get some time in this game and a possible anytime touchdown, or is he not going to touch the field?
I know how much you love the college guys in the draft.
Listen, bro,
he'll get some touches, but Jeff Wilson's been there for years.
I'm just saying,
the offense. He was in San Francisco with McDaniels.
Plus 1,000 odds. on an anytime touchdown. That's where you throw $25 and you're like, maybe it hits. Let me see.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like this at the dartboard and see what happens. I mean, I think he'll get some touches. I like the player, but I think Wilson has been with them from San Francisco. He's been there. Anytime these guys get hurt, he steps in and plays well. I don't know that I'd touch it. I mean, if you're picking the Miami to win, but Tua is going to be under 270, I want to see how this happens. That means the Bills had a bunch of turnovers.
All right, so it's time to get into our same game parlays. Let's start with you, Jake. Same game parlay. What you got?
So I'm going Curtis Samuel over 20, Dalton Kincaid over 50, Tua over 267, whatever that was, and Josh Allen anytime or one touchdown, which means running. That parlay is plus 1,000.
I'm liking it.
I'm digging that. I'm not a big same game parlay. I prefaced that last week, but I like that one. I mean, when you have four, it's amazing how many times three hit, and you need that fourth. But that's why you're getting plus 1,000. I mean, throw $5 on it and see what you think. I like those guys in this one. This should be interesting.
JC, passing it off to you. Same game parlay.
Yeah, just to educate the listeners, I did hit the same game parlay last week. That was
yes, he did.
Not published, and then I also hit whatever it was, a six or seven same game Bucs parlay. But this week I'm going Josh Allen under 248.5 passing yards, Kincaid under 44.5 yards receiving, Tua less than 270.5, and Tyreek anytime touchdown, and that's plus 1,100 odds.
All right, there you go.
You can see why we're picking this game differently, because I think Dalton Kincaid has a big week and bounces back, and I think they're winning, and Tua's got to throw it a little bit. It's so hard, man. Week 2 is going down this slate. It's just tough. It's the hardest week of the year to pick.
There's plenty more to discuss when it comes to week 2 on our full episode for MoneyLine Dawgs. This has been our Thursday night betting slip. Again, make sure you like this video, subscribe on YouTube, and check out www.e813tv for daily Bucs content. Thank you.